Imagine this for a moment. You're a green card holder landing back in the United States after visiting family overseas. You've done this trip countless times. You walk toward the customs checkpoint, relaxed, confident, expecting the usual 5-minute process. But this time, something feels different. An officer asks you to step aside. Your photo is taken. Your fingerprints are scanned. The questions start coming rapidly. Where did you go? How long were you gone? Why did you travel? Who did you see? What do you do in the United States? 5 minutes turns into 30, 30 turns into 2 hours. You're sitting there confused, frustrated, maybe even scared. What changed? February 2026. If you're a green card holder who travels internationally, the rules that just took effect could dramatically change your experience every time you cross the border. And what you don't know right now could cost you time, stress, and in extreme cases, even your permanent resident status. Starting now, every single time you enter or leave the United States, your photograph will be captured. Your biometric data will be recorded. Your travel patterns will be tracked more precisely than ever before. For some lawful permanent residents, this has already meant longer questioning, secondary inspections, and in rare but serious situations, challenges to their residency. This isn't speculation. It isn't exaggeration. It's happening right now. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to break down exactly what these changes mean for you and how to protect yourself before your next international trip. My goal is simple: cut through the confusion and give you clear, practical guidance about the major travel rule changes that took effect in February 2026. These updates stem from multiple government actions, including the nationwide biometric entry-exit system launched at the end of December 2025, expanded travel restrictions that began January 1st, 2026, and enhanced screening protocols at airports and land crossings across the country. Everything you're about to hear is based on official government announcements, policy updates, and reports from immigration attorneys who are seeing these changes unfold in real time at ports of entry. Before we go deeper, make sure you're subscribed and notifications are turned on. Immigration policies are evolving faster than ever, and staying informed isn't optional anymore. It's essential. The difference between a smooth re-entry and hours of stress can come down to preparation. Now let's talk about the first major shift every green card holder needs to understand: mandatory biometric tracking at entry and exit. As of late December 2025, U.S. Customs and Border Protection requires all non-U.S. citizens, including green card holders, to be photographed at every point of entry and exit: airports, land borders with Canada and Mexico, seaports. It applies everywhere. It doesn't matter whether you were gone for 2 days or 2 months. It doesn't matter if you're traveling for business, vacation, or a family emergency. Each time you leave the United States, your image is captured. Each time you return, your image is captured again. This process uses facial recognition technology. Officers take a live photo and instantly compare it to images stored in government databases: your green card photo, passport records, and previous travel history. The stated goal is identity verification, fraud prevention, overstay detection, and national security. But for green card holders, this system introduces a new level of visibility into your travel habits. In the past, departures weren't consistently tracked. There were gaps. Airlines kept some records, but there wasn't a fully integrated biometric system logging every exit. That era is over. Now your departures are recorded with precision. And that matters because permanent residency requires you to maintain your primary home in the United States. If your travel patterns suggest otherwise — long absences, frequent extended stays abroad, irregular re-entry timelines — those patterns are now clearly visible in the system. If you spend significant time outside the U.S., immigration officers can quickly see that history, and that can trigger additional scrutiny. This doesn't mean you can't travel. It means your travel history is no longer informal or loosely documented. It's digital, permanent, and analyzed. Now let's discuss another critical development: expanded travel restrictions affecting dozens of countries. As of January 2026, entry restrictions expanded significantly. While lawful permanent residents are not automatically stripped of their status because of nationality, green card holders from certain flagged countries are experiencing increased scrutiny at the border. What does that look like in real life? Longer interviews, more detailed questioning, secondary inspection referrals, requests for documentation proving ties to the United States, closer examination of your travel history. Even individuals who have held green cards for years are seeing heightened reviews if they fall into specific risk categories. That doesn't mean automatic revocation, but it does mean preparation is more important than ever. So, what should you actually do? Let's make this practical. First, check your green card expiration date immediately. If it's close to expiring, renew before you travel. Even if your status remains valid, an expired card can cause unnecessary complications at re-entry. Second, minimize extended absences when possible. Traditionally, trips longer than 6 months have raised red flags. Under the new biometric tracking system, those long absences are even more visible. If you anticipate being abroad for an extended period, research whether applying for a re-entry permit makes sense for your situation. Third, maintain strong, documentable ties to the United States. This means having a real residence in the U.S., filing tax returns annually, keeping bank accounts active, maintaining employment or business activity, and preserving a driver's license or state ID. When you travel, especially after longer stays abroad, carry documentation supporting these ties. Recent tax returns, lease agreements or mortgage statements, utility bills, employment verification letters, bank statements. These documents can make a significant difference if you're questioned. Fourth, if you are from a country facing heightened scrutiny, prepare mentally and logistically for secondary inspection. Remain calm. Answer honestly. Do not provide inconsistent information. The biometric system already contains detailed travel records, and discrepancies can escalate problems quickly. If you traveled for a medical emergency, funeral, or legal matter, bring documentation that supports your explanation. Evidence helps. Fifth, keep your own detailed travel records. Save boarding passes, itineraries, hotel confirmations, and entry stamps. When applying for naturalization in the future, you'll need a full 5-year travel history. Accurate personal records make that process smoother and protect you if discrepancies arise. Sixth, understand that the biometric rollout is expanding. Major international airports are already fully integrated. Land crossings and smaller ports are being added gradually over the next several years. Even if your last trip felt routine, your next one may involve more technology and monitoring. Frequent travelers may consider programs like trusted traveler memberships. While these do not exempt you from biometric collection, they can sometimes streamline processing. Just remember, no program overrides mandatory screening. Now let's address the biggest fear directly. Can you still travel? Yes, your legal right to return as a permanent resident remains intact. What has changed is the level of monitoring. Responsible travel combined with strong U.S. ties keeps you in a safe position. Another common question, can you refuse to be photographed? No. Biometric collection is mandatory for non-citizens. Refusal can result in denial of entry or boarding. There is no opt-out option. Will travel take longer? Initially, yes, in some locations. As officers and travelers adjust, delays may occur. Over time, automation may improve efficiency. But for now, plan for extra time at airports, especially during peak seasons. Could your green card be taken away because of this system? Not simply because the system exists. However, if your recorded travel history demonstrates that you are not maintaining U.S. residence, that could lead to an abandonment determination. The risk has always existed. The difference is that enforcement is now easier. If you genuinely live in the United States and travel occasionally, you are unlikely to face serious problems. The highest risk falls on individuals spending the majority of their time abroad while maintaining only minimal U.S. presence. Let's walk through a few realistic scenarios. If you take one annual vacation abroad, work full time in the US, pay taxes, and maintain a home here, you'll likely pass through with minimal issues. You may answer a few extra questions, but your travel pattern supports residency. If you spend 5 months abroad every year and return for shorter stays, you may face intense questioning. Officers could ask for proof that the United States remains your primary home. Without strong documentation, you could face allegations of abandonment. If you're from a country subject to enhanced scrutiny, even short trips could result in longer inspections. It doesn't mean wrongdoing, it means heightened review. Here's the bigger picture. These changes are not temporary. The biometric system is a long-term infrastructure investment. This is the new normal for international travel as a green card holder. The old flexibility is gone. Today's system is digital, automated, and comprehensive. Your travel is recorded, time-stamped, and evaluated. There's another factor people overlook: online presence. Immigration authorities increasingly examine publicly available social media during inspections and reviews. If your online activity suggests you live permanently outside the United States, that can raise questions. Be mindful of how your public profile reflects your residency. Now let's talk honestly about fear. Many green card holders feel anxious right now. Fear of questioning, fear of delays, fear of losing everything they worked for. That anxiety is understandable, but panic is not productive. If you maintain genuine U.S. residence, keep good records, and travel responsibly, the overwhelming majority of permanent residents will continue traveling without catastrophic consequences. The people most at risk are those neglecting residency requirements, failing to file taxes, lacking documentation, or effectively living abroad while treating the U.S. as a backup option. So, here's your action plan. Check your green card expiration date. Review how much time you've spent outside the U.S. in the past 3 years. Gather documentation proving your U.S. residence. Consider a re-entry permit if extended travel is unavoidable. Consult an immigration attorney if you're in a high-risk category. Maintain detailed travel records. If eligible, consider applying for citizenship. Monitor official updates from government sources. Preparation transforms anxiety into confidence. If this breakdown helped you understand what's happening and how to respond strategically, make sure you like this video and share it with other green card holders. Many people have no idea these changes are already in effect, and the shock happens at the airport. You can help someone avoid that moment. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss critical immigration updates. Policies are evolving quickly, and informed residents are protected residents. Drop a comment below. Are you a frequent traveler? Have you experienced the new biometric screening yet? Your experiences help others prepare. Remember this: knowledge is leverage. When you understand the rules, you can move confidently within them. These changes are here to stay, but they do not have to disrupt your life if you adapt wisely. Travel smart. Keep documentation. Maintain strong ties. Protect your status. Your green card represents years of effort and opportunity. Safeguard it by staying informed and proactive. I'll see you in the next update. Stay prepared, stay confident, and travel responsibly.